Hello again, and welcome to PaintersBlock. I'm your host, Anthony Ryden, and please like and subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Reddit, and Instagram. Here is our tutorial on purple glow with magical weapons. First, we will be using Zandy Dust all over the shaft of the weapon. It will give us a lighter tone to pop from the rest of the body and kind of grab our attention to the weapon, because that is going to be more our centerpiece of this model. Apply evenly to each area of the weapon, remembering to hit both sides of each hand and both sides of the weapon. Trying to keep a lighter shade towards the top of the shaft just by applying a little bit less up there than down at the bottom of the shaft. This will give a natural shade effect, barely affecting the eye. We're almost done. I'm going to go into what colors we're going to use next. We're going to use Alien Purple as our darker tones to our magical weapon. And then we're going to move on to a faerzress purple. I'm probably butchering that, but it's from D&D, and it's going to be a nice light tone purple. And then we're going to move to a contrast sigvald burgundy to bring it all together as a contrast. And then a titanium white is going to be used to brighten anything we need to look hot in this purple blend. Now I'm trying a wet blending method where you put one side of the darker tone on whatever you want darker, and one side of the lighter tone on whatever side you want lighter. Now, me being super impatient and wanting to get this done, I kept on trying to paint, I think, too fast. I wasn't letting certain parts pick up the darker colors or the lighter colors. Also, I was using a very small surface area, so it wasn't a lot to go with. So I was having a very hard time blending this part of the weapon using this wet blend method. And also the whole time I was thinking, this just seems kind of finite as a skill set. You really need to have an eye and a real good feel for this blend. And you can do this over and over. I'm sure this would be really fast if you achieve this, and you should. I think I'm going to keep on practicing, but I'm going to try a different method after trying this. But first, I'm going to try to bring some sigvald burgundy in and blend it all together. Let's see if that works. It seems like it's kind of working, but I'm still not getting the brightness I want to achieve at the tip as much as I'd really like. I'm going to keep on going through and brushing in the white tones and bringing it up, but I'm thinking this new method I come up with is going to be a little bit easier for me, at least. Now I'm going to mix my colors, all those same purples together, and blend them. And here we get our own gradient mixed on our wet palette. And we're just going to try this out. It looks pretty already on the wet palette, so I'm thinking this is going to be pretty good. We're going to start off with the dark on the bottom parts of the weapon, on the sharp parts of this scythe, and kind of move it into this nice emblem. And then we're gonna put it away and grab a little bit of darker than that tone, and we're gonna go towards the bottom of the shaft and give a little bit of dimension to this dark purple that we already got. It's very minimal, but it's gonna be nice to have these different levels of darkness already while just putting down your first layer. Now I'm bringing in a little bit more onto the tip, just to add a little bit more depth to that purple. Going in, making sure to touch all of the parts near the pole arm and keep it a little bit dark, but shifting, because now we're gonna go towards our lighter tones. Now here I pick the lighter purple, pretty much the faerzress purple from D&D, and I just put it exactly where it lines up with the dark purple that I just put down. It's going to give us a nice shift when we look at it from far away. And then I put away my brush, picked up some more of the dark purple and blended with the light purple just to give a light shift. And then I keep doing this with the light purple, getting more and more of it with the dark purple, getting into the gradient we already pre-mixed. And we're already getting this shift, and it's really nice. So we're just going to go back, we're going to pick up more of that light purple that we got with the white, and we're going to go up to this pure light purple, faerzress purple that we had. And there we go, we already have the dark to light purple, but we have the white tip. So we're going to make it translucent. So we're going to water down our titanium white, make it translucent a little bit. Titanium white's really thick, so it's still going to lay down. But we're going to lay it thick towards the tip and thin towards the purple, giving us our gradient. And voila, the top's already pretty much done. Now we're going to move on to the emblem and do the same exact thing. Now we have one side with the pointy part of the emblem with dark purple, so we're picking the other side with the pointy part to be light purple and trying to separate the leaf in the middle with light and dark. Now, I thought this was going to be difficult, but having this pre-mixed gradient made it extremely easy. All I had to do was go in with the light purple on that tip, the medium purples on the medium area between the dark and the light, and then touch up the midtones with the gradient we already got. It was amazing, and honestly took me a fraction of the time. Now moving the model around, you're just going to look, make sure you get all those little medium parts blended, but there you go. It only took us about 6.5 minutes and it's blended. Now moving on to the weapon, the polearm part, we're going to use agrax earthshade to darken it up a little bit because it kind of looks a little toothpicky, and I kind of tried to make a glowing effect earlier, and the reds just didn't blend with any of the other colors. You'll notice when you use acrylics, you can mix a lot of the other colors, but reds, they don't like to mix with other things very well unless they're orange or purple. Not gray, not white, not tan. So use some agrax earthshade, it'll dirty it up. It didn't need a pop as much as I wanted it to, and I didn't like the toothpick feel, so we're just making sure to go through and get each side and darken up the parts underneath the hand a bit more, underneath the weapon a bit more, and underneath the weapon a bit more, just in general. But then still dirtying up the whole thing with that agrax earthshade. It just kind of shifts the whole tone a bit down. Now moving on, we're going to use mephiston red. Now this is going to add some of our warmth into the armor. And here is where I actually mess up a bit, because I can go into this in detail now. The reds mixed with white, that does not make a bright red. That makes pink. You can mix blue with white, it'll make a light blue. Yellow with white, it'll make a light yellow. White with pretty much every other color, it'll make it light. But you mix white with red and you get pink. So that is a big mistake. You can make it very white as a base and then put red and it'll look red, but no go. Now you're going to take your small dry brush and you're going to just take that light purple and lightly brush it onto all those highlighted areas on the armor that we painted earlier. I'll put the video of the tutorial in the description below, but this is where we're going to start adding the glow effect to the armor to add an OSL, an object source lighting effect, to make our weapon seem like it's actually glowing more so than just the paint blend that we did to give it a cool effect. Now we're going in with that pink, that kind of like light purple, hitting the face, hitting the armor, all those key spots, the toes that we want to catch the purple light and really give this feel that this is glowing in right next to this man. Now the mephiston red is going to be used next over the toothpick, which we fixed earlier, but in this video is a little bit earlier that I did this, so it's still going over the toothpick, and we're putting that red to give the earlier shade to the warmth that we're going to add. Now we're going to use Bowl Slayer Orange. Now this fixes the problem of that pink effect I was talking about earlier. Now red, to make it brighter, you need orange. On the color wheel, you have to go one step to the other side to make it brighter. So on the side of red to make it brighter, you need the yellow side, so that would be orange in the middle. So I use that orange, lightly going over it. Now we're going to switch over to contrast sigvald burgundy, and we're going to just tie in all of that color. Oh, that's my cat Tomato. Say hi. I love him so much. He's my best friend. Now we're going to take that color, contrast sigvald burgundy, and we're going to put it on everything that is purple. Very lightly. We're watered it down a lot so it's not catching as much as we can, and we're keeping our brush or our towel ready, dry. Something to soak up any of this color if it pools too much, like you're seeing here where it's leaving little like puddles. I'm not an expert at my paintmanship, so I have to be able to fix my mistakes, and that's one way I've learned, is just being able to take some of that watered down paint away with a dry brush that you have ready. And there you have it, a nice purple effect over all of those areas we highlighted. And that is a all brushwork glowing effect purple weapon. You can do this, anyone can do this, it's easy. I use a small brush for pretty much the whole process, and it looks great. If you have any future ideas you want me to paint, please comment below. All items will be listed below that I used, and everything that you need. Follow us on Reddit, Instagram, and Facebook, and I hope we broke your painter's block.